afternoon everybody, it's Carol here at Oak House Journals and I'm going to do my Margarete Miller Collage Weekly Planner assignment for week number 50. My goodness, we've only got another couple to go. I can't believe that I'm almost there with this. I started off the year thinking I'd be lucky if I kept up, and I've really gone a pace this year to try and keep up, and do you know, I'm quite proud of myself really. I have been asked, so I promise you I will do a flip through of the complete planner when all 52 are done. Now, I don't know whether or not you want me to talk through the assignments that I've done, or if you're just happy with me to put some music on and just flip through the pages. So if you've got an opinion on that or are interested at all, just leave me a comment so that I know how you want me to do it, and I'll go with the majority. Let me have your thoughts and we'll take it from there. So I need to get on with number 50, or assignment number 50. And the minute I read this, I knew more or less straight away what pieces I was going to use for each of the prompts, and it's going to be very much in a festive theme as well. So let's get started. The first prompt, something silver. Well, I've got a little pot of stars here, and as you can see I've got silver ones, so I'm going to be using one out of there. Put the lid back on because I'm bound to knock those for a Burton. Something from mythology or legend. Now, I looked this up because I wanted to make sure I was going to be doing this right. And Wikipedia says that a legendary or mythological creature is a type of fictional entity that has not been proven and that is described in folklore. So the examples given were goblins and orcs, fairies and elms, but there are also numerous traditions, myths and legends concerning reindeer, and the most commonly known for most Westerners is the one about Santa Claus and his flying reindeer. But what I didn't know, thank you very much Margarete Miller, because I learn something every time I do one of these assignments. The kind of myth or legend or folklore about Santa Claus and his flying reindeer began in the 19th century by a poem that was written by a gentleman called Clement C. Moore, and he wrote it for his children, and it was the poem 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. Now, I knew the poem, I obviously knew the tradition about reindeer, but I didn't know Mr. Clement C. Moore was the gentleman that actually wrote that piece of poetry. So that's my piece of learning for this week. So as you can see, I have gone with a reindeer, and in particular Rudolph here as my mythological or legendary character. The next one, an image of something made from wood or wood grain. Now this one is so obvious. I've got a Christmas tree. Well, in fact, I've got a couple. I've got this one, and I've also got this one. Now, I don't know which one I'm going to use. I might actually use both. I don't know till I get going. I'm probably leaning towards this one, but we'll see. A clothing tag. Now, I'm parking this one for the time being because I'm still on the hunt for a clothing tag. I'm sure that I will have one by the end of the day, but I'm not quite sure where I'm going to put it and what I'm going to do with it at the moment. So I'm kind of hoping that inspiration will come for that actual prompt. The next one is graph paper, and I've got some scraps here of graph paper that I was using on another project. I've got some here that is slightly greeny tinge, and some here that is more a grey blue tinge, and as you can see, these are just scraps that have been ripped out for my other project. So again, I'm not sure which of the colourways I'm going to be using. Probably this back one, the plainer one of the two, but I've got those. And bonus, something upside down. Well, I've got these images now. As you can see, these are images of Santa upside down, stuck in a chimney. So I'm going to be using one or other of these depending on the size when I get round to using them. As much as I like the legs and particularly the boots on this Santa, I probably will end up using this one for the simple reason that there's a little bit of snow underneath his body before he actually goes into the chimney. So it's more likely to be that one, but we'll see. As you can probably tell, I have a lot of fussy cutting to do before I can even make a start on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my scissors, I'm going to turn on some music or my audiobook, and I'm going to snip away, and I will be back when I've got my bits and bobs cut out. 2 Santa Clauses, I've got my 2 Christmas trees, and I've trimmed this image of Rudolph to the size of the frame that's on the page, and I'm going to use all of it. I'm not going to make use of the background, and that's going to sit in there like that. I'm leaning towards using this tree just because I like all the detail with the raggedy edge, so I'm leaning towards using that one. I'm also, as I thought I would, leaning towards this Santa Claus rather than this one. And I've been looking at the 2 graph papers now, as I say, I'm hoping that you can pick up the colour here. This, as I say, has got a slight green tint to it, and this has got almost a grey tint to it. So I did a couple of tears, and I'm actually leaning towards the one with the grey tint in it, because this has got a very, very soft pale blue background. The green isn't working for that, but this grey one is, and it's picking up the grey tones in the tree. So I'm actually liking this a lot better. So what I was thinking is I'm going to glue this down. So let's do that. And I've just snookered myself because I really should have glued this in place first. Okay, not a problem. As you can see, there is a couple of lines on here which kind of depict the background. So what I was thinking of doing was trying to pick up this curve down here and have my Christmas tree on there like that. And I was thinking of not having all of the Christmas tree in the picture. I was going to have something like that. So now I need to, I should have done this first, really. Hopeless. So I'm thinking if I cut it something like that, that should do the trick. So I was thinking of having that there like that. And then what I thought I might do is, ooh, that would have been nice to have had one on that side, but a much smaller one. I might use that yet, and it might mean I need to cut another, do a bit more fussy cutting and cut Rudolph out. But I actually, I'm not averse to that actually. Maybe if I had that like that. And I could actually pull that one across outside the frame like that. Yeah, I'm liking that actually. I didn't have that planned, but I'm thinking that that might be quite nice to do. Okay, so let's do some ripping of the graph paper. So if I push that across there like that, I've ripped that piece already. Let's have a look at this piece. Now, I was thinking I could do something like this and use the graph paper as almost as snowdrifts to follow these lines in there, but I need to get them underneath Rudolph's feet so that it doesn't look odd, and it is looking a bit odd with that tree outside the border, but let's have a play. I might take a bit more off the side of that tree. Let's do that. Okay, I think I'm probably forcing it a bit too much with that one. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to I'm trying to get it so that it looks like he has gone into one of the drifts head first. And I'm thinking if I can try and get it so that his legs are kind of over the Christmas tree as well. So I'm thinking maybe something like that looks quite good, and having Rudolph kind of peeping round the tree a little bit. Yeah, I'm liking that. So that's how I think I'm going to have it. So right, how to do this for the best. Right, so I'm going to have that piece there. I'm going to have that piece there, and probably we'll have another snowdrift down here, and just coming across the bottom there like that. Now it's looking too regimented with just two pieces, so that's why I think it might be nice to have a third piece, and that's why I want to have my graph paper underneath my tree as well. So I'm going to put some glue and secure my pieces. Decided to keep that inside the boundary of my page, or the frame of my page. Right, now I've left these portions here open so I can slide my Santa underneath, and I'm thinking I'm liking him like that, so that's how I'm going to have him. Okay, and then have this piece on there like that. I think I'm thinking of having that piece down there like that, so I'm going to glue that into place now. This is how my piece is looking now, and I'm quite pleased with it really. I could have inked the edges of the torn graph paper, but I knew that I was going to use my snow pen. Now this is a Reindeer snow pen, and I'll put the information in the description box below the video. And all I'm going to do now is, if you don't mind me turning the page slightly, I'm just going to put a slight dab of this along my torn edges, and hopefully try and make it look like it's snow. It's coming out in a little bit of a blob, so let me try down here. This is my silver star, or my something silver, and I'm just going to put that on the top of my tree, and I've got a little bit of glossy accents on the back of that to hopefully hold it in place. I think that should stay nicely there. And I've also gone in with a little bit of glossy accents on the end of Rudolph's nose, and I'm hoping you can see that. I was struggling for a clothing tag. I've looked at all sorts of options, and the only clothing tags, genuine clothing tags, that I have here at home are big ones. So I was looking at little miniature tags that you punch out that I could use, but I thought that might be cheating. But I thought that I would use this little round brown one, and put one of these clothing letters on. Now you could argue that these are tags, can't you, if they're put on clothing to identify whose pair of trousers it is or whatever. So I'm going to go with that. It might be pushing it a little bit, but that's the only way I can work a tag onto here. And I don't want to drop one of the prompts because I've managed to do all of them all the way through, so I don't want to spoil it now. So what I'm going to do is put a little bit of Fabri-Tac glue onto here. Just going to give that a minute to go tacky. Just going to dab it off a little bit because I don't really want it seeping through my label. And I'm just going to put this on here, and I will trim it away in a moment when it's adhered. And it would have been fantastic if I had something that said Rudolph or R or anything like that, but I didn't. I've got JT, so I'm going to have to go with that. So that's dry now, and I'm going to just snip away around the outside. And there we go, everybody. That's my finished piece for assignment number 50. And yeah, a little bit quirky. I don't really think that it falls under the guise of a collage, really. I think it's more like mixed media, but I don't mind. It's been fun to do. So something silver is obviously my little silver star at the top up there. Something from mythology or legend, well, that's my reindeer, but equally it could be my Santa Claus. An image of something made of wood or wood grain. Well, my image was the Christmas tree, and as you saw, I chopped a portion off and I've used it down the side there. A clothing tag, well, I'm hoping I'm not cheating by manufacturing that little one down there. Graph paper, well, you saw this was torn at the bottom here. And the bonus, something upside down. Well, this is my Santa Claus, who's supposed to look like he's in a snowdrift. I went a bit mad with the snow pen. I intended just to use it over the torn edges to try and make it look like drifts of snow, and I ended up putting it all over my two Christmas trees and then a little bit down at the bottom here. So there we go, everybody. I hope you like seeing this piece. I'm not too sure what I think about it. I certainly don't think it's a collage in the true sense of what they're supposed to be, but it doesn't really matter. I had loads of fun doing it, and I hope you enjoyed seeing it come together. So we've only got 2 more assignments. I will see you for those, and we will complete this year's challenge and have a complete book of 52 collage type things. So thanks so much, everybody. Take care, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye bye now.